What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host Vernon. This is Lake Mead. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my office. We are out here today near the Hemingway Marina for one simple thing. If you've watched my recent videos, you will know that I recently stated that it is weird to see the carp up shallow. It's not supposed to be at this time of year yet. And of course, I've had quite a lot of questions about that, saying, why am I saying this is strange? So I quickly like to explain. Now, first off, carp, you can catch them year round, but certain times of the year they are harder to find, especially during winter, as the shallow waters tend to get a bit colder. These fish move in deeper to find some shelter from the cold water, and because their metabolism slowed down, they're not feeding as regularly as they do during the summer months. Now, as the days tend to get longer, it's normally end of February, early March that these fish move from the deep water up to the shallows. They start to feed, and then they go into a spawn period. During the spawn, they are so focused that they don't eat at all. So you have a pre-spawn biting window and then a post-spawn biting window that lasts for the entire summer. Now, the fact that we are seeing carp up in the shallows, that means that maybe the water temperatures aren't as low as I thought. They may have come up earlier this year. So we are out here today to test that theory. I'm going to take my carp setup, cast it out there, and see if we can find any carp. Okay, so let's get set up. Alright guys, we are now all rigged out there using the little carp setup. If you are wondering what the carp setup is, down in the video description there's a link that shows you the carp setup. If you want to see what baits I'm using, what gear I'm using, please go watch that video. Likewise, in the description part you will find links to my channel and my social media links and stuff like that. There is, however, one section down in the description part that I've never mentioned on my channel. That is a little link to PayPal, one where I say I appreciate any donations given to the channel. I don't mention this quite often because I'm not asking for money, but of course any donations are much appreciated. We did, however, recently have a donation, and I wanted to give a big shout out and a thank you to Paw Pals. I'm not going to use that cash just simply to go buy Big Macs. I actually do use it to buy bait and stuff for the channel. So Paw Pals, your donation went towards getting some feed. This is what I use when trying to catch carp out there. So thanks to Paw Pals for sponsoring this video so we can try and catch some carp. Now, if you think Paw Pals is a pretty strange name for YouTube, that is because Paw Pals, of course, is a local business around. It's a pretty cool business that supply all kinds of pet accessories. If this is something you're interested in, I will put a link to their Facebook page down in the description as well. Okay, but now we have to wait for some fish to show up. This can be anything from 20 minutes to a couple of hours. So we have this rod out there waiting for some carp. We'll see if we get anything. But I am, however, allowed to use a second rod. So I'm going to walk around to see if I see any shad around. Reports lately have been that the shad have moved out of this location. But I'll see if we have some shad. We'll lifeline them for stripers. If not, I'm just going to throw around some lures to see if there's any fish around. Okay, so I've now walked around looking for some shad, and like someone flipped a switch, there's absolutely no shad around these waters. Whether that is because the water level rose or because people caught all of them, I don't know. But I don't see any shad around. So on my second rod, I'm going to be casting around some lures to see if I can find some fish, starting off with some shad imitations to see if that will work. guys, we got a fish on. It's taken an hour and a half. We finally got a bite on corn. When fighting these fish, you don't want to be reeling in as it's taking line. Carp are powerful, but they are quick to tire out. They will, however, always try to go for cover, so always try to keep them away from bushes, trees. Do so on this one, so we'll see if we can drag him through the trees. Go out of the trees. Lovely golden carp. Lovely little fish. Walking through the shallower waters. There we are, guys, fish landed. lovely fat carp, busy fattening up for the spawn. Let's get him unhooked. Want to support the body weight as much as possible, but nice, lovely fat carp. Let's get him back into the water. And off he goes, swimming straight back. Alright, Paw Pals, thanks for getting me on that fish. Let's see if we can get another one. Okay, so catching that fish kind of shows that that one fish moved up shallower to start feeding already, which is quite strange. But to prove that there are more fish up in the shallows, we need to catch another one. Now when doing carp fishing, the idea is to cast in the exact same spot and you create a feeding area for the fish to come into. However, I did struggle quite a lot with the bushes on the side there, so I decided to move to a different spot a few feet away where I have a bit more open area to fish in. So casting out there, let's see if we get any other fish. Alright guys, I've now fished for 6 hours straight. In these 6 hours I've seen quite a lot of people attempt to catch some bait fish. I've also seen quite a lot of people fail to catch some bait fish. I don't think there are any shad around at the moment. Now that one carp was pretty big and fat. Nice to see that they're fattening up going into the spawn. However, does that mean that the carp are all in the shallows busy fattening up? Or was that just the one crazy fish that's up here early and I managed to catch that one? Now that is the big question. That is what this video is actually about. I don't think that the fish are up shallow yet. I don't think they're feeding crazy like they would in the summer. I think if we give it a few more weeks, we might get some better carp action out there. You can always, of course, try carp fishing at night. People tend to get a lot better bite at night, trying for some carp rather than fishing at day. I of course like the day because, I mean, just look around, it's pretty out here. I like to see everything that's going on. Okay, so I hope you guys understand that when I'm saying it's not yet the right time for carp, that does not mean you're not supposed to be out here trying for carp. You can still do so. What I'm trying to say with that is not the best ideal time to try for carp. You're going to have long days of waiting, maybe catching fish, maybe not. Whereas in a few months' time, the carp fishing will be a lot more active. But if you want to do carp fishing, I believe now is a pretty good time to start ordering your baits and stuff from online, maybe getting some from the stores, because pretty soon I think the carp bite will pick up again. Alright, but that's going to be it for this video. I want to thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments, or just give a shout out there. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting the subscribe button, joining my community, see what other videos I have out there. And as usual guys, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.